In the early 1900s, Henry Ford created the production line that made his car, the Ford Model T, more affordable for the common man. From 1908 to 1927, the Model T sold over 15 million units and was considered responsible for putting America on wheels. Throughout the 1920s, Ford dominated the market with the Model T, but competitors caught up with Ford's mass production system and began to produce better cars with more powerful engines, new features, and improved looks. By the mid-1920s, Ford's dominance over the market began to erode. Henry's son, Edsel Ford, convinced his father that a new car is needed to maintain their dominance of the market. In 1928, the Ford Model A was introduced. The Model A came in a wide variety of body styles. The engine was a water-cooled 3.3-liter L-head inline 4-cylinder that made 40 horsepower. The transmission was a conventional unsynchronized 3-speed sliding gear manual, while stopping power was provided by mechanical drum brakes on all 4 wheels. With 2,630mm wheelbase with a final drive ratio of 3.77:1, it achieved a top speed of around 105 km per hour. The Model A was produced from 1928 to 1932, and it quickly became Ford's global car. In addition to the United States, Ford made the Model A in plants in Argentina, Canada, Denmark, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, Russia, and the United Kingdom. A total of 4,858,644 Model A's were made during its 5-year production run. The Model A was the first Ford to use the standard set of drive controls with conventional clutch, brake, and throttle pedals, and gear shift. Its fuel tank was situated in the cowl, between the engine compartment's firewall and the dash panel. It had a visual fuel gauge, and the fuel flowed to the carburetor by gravity. It was the first car to have safety glass in the windshield. Out of the millions of Model A's produced by Ford, some units were imported into the Philippines. One particular Model A, a 2-door sedan with a rumble seat at the back, was acquired and restored by Rodger Yu, a vintage car, motorcycle, watch, and photography enthusiast.
I'm Rodger Yu from Quezon City. This is my car, a 92 years old car, and I am 74. Just a few years older than me. When I saw this car in an auction 5 years ago, I just went around this car and looked at the tag price, and it was not on my budget. So I left, but when I was already somewhere in Ayala Avenue, I told my son to turn around and go back to the hotel. And I put my card on the wiper, and just last year I received a call from the owner if I am interested on this car, and I said very much, but I cannot afford it. What he told me is, sir, we are not talking about how much is the car. I want to know if you are interested. And I said, of course I am. And why should you want to sell it to me? Because I went over your Facebook and I saw that you are a kind of person that take care of anything that's precious. So I wanted my car to be taken care by someone like you. So at any price, he said, let's have coffee and let's talk about the car. So I said, okay, sir, you choose the restaurant you want, and maybe we could go there. And we met in a restaurant that fortunately it's my restaurant, somewhere in Pasig. Then we talked in 30 minutes and he said, the car is yours. And he even told me that I'm going to call Philippine Tatler because this was featured and will be featured again. And I wanted them to change the name of the owner into your name. I was very happy on that day. So I went to see the car on the garage, and it needs several repair, and from there, history had started for this car. I made some visual inventory what I would like to do. It took me about less than a month to order all the parts that I can get in the US before I pulled it out for restoration. So I changed the tires. I have to order it in England. I have to fix the engine, overhaul the engine, and bought this one. This is the temperature gauge. It took me 2 months to find one like this in the US. I also bought a panel board for the instrument, and I was able to find it in England also. Basically, after all the parts came in, I decided to put an aircon for this one. So I also bought a aircon compressor fit for this car. After everything had been in place, I converted all electrical system, just the electrical system, into 12 volts because it's very hard to buy a battery 6 volts anymore. That's all I did, and everything is original up to the last bolt and nuts. When the engine was already overhauled and running, I changed color 3 times. From the original color of yellow, then I painted this black. Then I find it too dark, so I painted it gold. But again, too showy, too loud. So I decided to paint it as it is now. You mean a lot of money? No. No. Actually, while fixing, the other day I was fixing the exhaust, the entry of air on this gasoline tank. I drilled my hand. I'm happy to have this one, the hole on my hand, for the love of this car. You know, I've been driving this for 1 month already, every day from my house to my office, just less than a kilometer away. But I tell you, this is a drunkard. It drinks a lot of gasoline.
Like the 1908 Ford Model T, Rodger Yu's Ford Model A was made on a production line that Henry Ford created. And thanks to that production line, mass manufacturing made the automobile affordable to the common man and defined personal mobility for years to come.